Is that your dog?
That's my baby over here. It's my baby Galan. Mm. Here's my baby. Ay, that's enough.
And how long have you had your dog?
Galan, I got him when he was 2 months old. When he was 2 months old, I got him from a friend. It was me and Chad, my brown belt Chad. We went all the way up to the north of California just to pick him up. It was like, he's one of my best friends over here.
That's like good. So let me ask a couple more questions. And where did you grow up?
I grew up in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. I grew up in Botafogo, right in Botafogo City. It's a very small city of Brazil. It's called Botafogo, and at the same time it's the name of a team, a soccer team of Rio de Janeiro. It's Botafogo. That's one of the teams I play. Many things, water polo, basketball, was part of the club for quite a while.
And when did you move to America?
I moved to America in 1992. I moved to America in 1992, right after the Vale Tudo in Brazil, when the Jiu-Jitsu group fought against the Luta Livre. Then we knew we accomplished our mission in Brazil of conquer every single martial artist in our country, since the Luta Livre to karate, taekwondo, boxers. Then I thought, okay, that's time to spread the mission to other places, because my fellow comrades already been conquered this. Our forefathers been doing that since the 50s, like Master Helio, Master Carlos, Master Carson Gracie. They all been doing this journey for a long time. We just decided to follow their footsteps and do the same thing what they did. Honor the Jiu-Jitsu.
What was it like growing up for you?
Growing up, I have a lot of fun. I live in one of those beautiful cities in the world, but it's very rough, very tough. Like I said, I grew up in Rio de Janeiro, and I can say I have a great life. You know, of course we lack a few opportunities in terms of not have this great financial condition, but my parents raised me with a lot of love, a lot of respect, a lot of discipline, and raised me to create goals on my life. Then I even if they were not so clear, try to explain to me that I understand the message they try to send behind sometimes their upsetness when they're upset with me and things like that. Then I understand what the mission was. They want to make me grow as a good man, so I can improve myself and improve the society I live through the art I learn and through everything I learn with them.
And so you grew up with both your mom and your dad, is that correct?
Yes.
So could you describe for me, like, maybe what's the single most important thing that your dad taught you, and then what's the single most important thing that your mom taught you?
The main thing they taught me was respect. That was I believe that was the ultimate foundation for myself, because that respect I learned with my parents. When I went to start learning martial arts, the martial arts just reinforced everything my parents taught me. Then that's why I embraced the martial arts, because I see the same philosophical principle of teaching, respect, and love and appreciation that I learned with my parents when I was young. Then when I grew up, actually not grew up, when I was still a boy, 12 years old, I just went to martial arts, and that was the reinforcement of all the education I have from my parents.
And then, so you started martial arts at 12 years old, is that?
Actually, I grew up in the middle of the martial arts because my grandpa was a judo player. Then my grandpa basically grew up. I basically grew up between martial arts and music because my family is all musician. I was the only one that chose my grandfather's footsteps, so I can choose what I could be able to choose what I want to do. If I want to do music or be a musician, composer like my father and my brother is, like my grandpa was, or I can choose to live my dream, to do whatever I believe is right for myself. And they give me those tools. They not just said, hey, you gotta be this, you gotta do that. No, my dad every day and my grandpa reinforce how much I have to believe in my dream. My mother was the foundation to understand how my dream was important, and she every day reinforces me with strength, with belief, and let me know I was important. That was the the greatest thing in my mother was, she taught me how valuable I was, how important I am for her and for the other people that I can improve their life as well through the art of Jiu-Jitsu.
So it sounds like your parents were very active in your upbringing and were constantly around, and it sounds like you're very grateful for that. What tips could you give to somebody, because not everybody has parents that are around, and like how would things change, or what advice would you give for somebody maybe that didn't have as good of a support network as you had growing up?
I believe we have to understand the ultimate foundation of respect, because when you have respect, you have humility. When you have respect, you understand that you're going to strengthen yourself more than the average people that doesn't have it. Because respect make you understand that you are capable to do things, but not on the way that you're gonna harm other people. It's on the way that is gonna, the respect is gonna be the foundation for you to understand humanity, for you to understand yourself, because that will be the foundation for you to prevail in your life. That's what I learned. And that respect started in my house with my parents. Every time I walk home and say, thank you for everything you've done for me, even when we were living in the slums of Brazil. Even when I was living in the favela of Brazil, I thank you, my mom and my dad, for them to provide me with the food, for them to provide me with shelter, for them to provide me with the greatest education. Even when I see my mother many times not eating the food herself so she can feed me, then that's bring me to the ultimate respect of humanity. So I understand that what my mother did for me, I would do the same thing to my kids. I would not allow myself to eat if I have to choose to feed myself or my kid. I would do the same thing my mother did. It's because she inspired me on that day when I saw she preserved herself from eating so she can feed me. I was 10 years old. Then I was watching why is my mother's not eating. Then I thought maybe she's not hungry. Then I looked to the freezer. We barely had food. It was enough for my brothers and my sister to eat. Then She showed me on that day how much she loves me. And that day I learned the ultimate respect for humanity and the respect for your own kids. You know, then I would do the same thing to my kids. That's what I learned.